We watched it!
Another film right after, and we finished it in a day. It didn't take us that long because this one has to be one of my favorite Malayalam film, Kumbalangi Nights.
When I first watched this film, right? So I was watching it. Obviously, you're drawn into it. But the end, for some reason, just really stayed with me. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and telling them, I was like, Raj, like that film, like it really took me to a whole different place.
Definitely.
And I think for a film to do that to you, that just shows like how amazing it was. You know what I mean?
I watched Kumbalangi Night long time back when it first came on Amazon Prime, and usually you can watch movies these days one more time. You can't watch them again. But this one, even though I knew what was gonna happen, I knew all of it. I didn't tell her anything. We watched it together, and I was still drawn into it. I was just like bought into the whole family, their happiness, their sadness, everything. Even like Shami's character would play Wafat Fa. So we're gonna talk about him. Like he deserves like a whole different section dedicated to him.
Like this guy, right? Like, okay, first of all, he produced the film too, right? Wasn't he the producer?
Yes, I think so.
He was the producer in the film too. And for someone to be a producer of a film and to give himself just a little part, and yet that little part was so impactful at the end, I just felt like, what more does a great actor, what kind of other recognition does he?
We just watched him in Trance a week ago, and he does something completely normal.
Right.
And now we see him, like at first we think, okay, he's not a bad person. He has his own problem, but he's not a bad person. But at the end, where everything just breaks down and he just goes crazy.
Yeah, because he has some type of a problem. We don't know what it is exactly. It's right. So like psychotic.
Yeah.
Psychotic.
I think he's also not suffering, but he wants to feel
powerful,
I'm above everyone else, and the people who doesn't make much money, who lives in slums, they're below me. And he also egoistic, yes. And also he wants to, within the woman he lives with, he wants to feel like he's the god.
He's the which a lot of men have that mentality. We're the providers of the home. We're the top, in the household. We should be respected a certain way. Even outside, other families feel like the Jawai and stuff like that. They need to be at a certain level compared to everybody else. And this film really, really showed that, I felt like. And
but I think we're jumping the gun. Let's talk more about the brothers.
Let's
talk about the brothers. The four brothers, their relationship with each other, how they're broken. At first, we were finding out, okay, who has this father, who's related to who.
We were trying to figure that out.
It took us a little time, but then we were able to, he has a different father. They're brothers, he has a different father. But man, their relationship that they showed, how they're always fighting with each other. They don't get along. Only the youngest brother and the one that can't speak, they're really close to each other. I got really teary when something happened and Saji was hitting the youngest one, and the brother comes in who can't speak and start hitting him. Then he was he was touching his, you okay? Yeah. And I got teary.
Because of such a broken, incomplete family, here's their mom who's gone on a pilgrimage, I think, and she kind of just disordered them and really is not being a part of their life, even though that's not Saji's real mom.
Right. And also the fact when when Bobby goes to her and tells her, can you come to our house just for a couple of days, because I have to ask baby's hand, you can help me out, and then she doesn't come. And then Bobby say she's crazy, she's going crazy, and Saji say, don't say that, she's done a lot for the family and whatnot. But also the fact that when Saji, that whole incident happened with his friends, he dies protecting him, and then Saji's he tells his Frankie that I have a problem, can you take me to doctors? And then he just breaks down, and then he just crying. That part tearing me. Okay, he was holding everything for such a long time, and it just came out.
You know, and that happens to a lot of people. But I felt like the main message that this film was trying to show was the importance of a female figure in one's life.
Yes, yes.
I think that's what it had a lot to do with, because even with Saji, how he brings his friend's wife who's pregnant to the
without
house.
Thinking what other
without even thinking what other people are going to think or anything like that, because he felt like he was a little bit responsible for like her husband's death when he brings her to the house. And then when Bobby brings his girlfriend, was like, yo, like, I love her, we're going to make it happen. Like, he brings her to the house.
Man, even like, let's talk about Bobby character. Like, Bobby character was so complex. And like, you know, like one of my favorite scenes of the film is when Bobby and Saji goes to the salon to talk to Shami about, like, you know, we want to marry your sister-in-law, right? And then he's like, stops his razor right here. And then when everything gets done, he was like, 50 rupees. He actually asked him, though, okay, you gotta pay me, because whichever the amount 65. Was, you gotta pay me. I did this job for you. And then Saji was like, oh yeah, here's the money. Like that. You know what? The one thing I didn't notice when I watched it the first time and noticed the second one, there was one moment when the mother-in-law was making food for what's his name, Fahad Fasil character. And then he was like, oh, no, mom, you don't have to do all that. Oh, come sit with me. And when she sits next to him, he moves to the other chair. So he feels more superior. Exactly. Okay, you know, I'm not going to sit right next to you because I'm the man of the house. I'm going to sit the other chair that kind of represents the father figure. You know, the main banda sits over there.
And I think the cutest part was how the youngest brother, how when like all the ladies were coming into the house,
he got so excited.
He was getting happy, like, because I felt like he probably didn't get to experience like that motherly love and that type of like atmosphere. You know, he was around like 4 older like guys, like brothers, you know, like throughout his whole life. So I think that was really cute, and I like how that was portrayed, even though he really didn't verbally say anything, but it was just showed because he had a huge smile on his face, especially when the American actress comes into
I like their relationship too, like how even though she played like a very small part, I think each character was so well made. They, like, even though the movie really wasn't about one person, it was about the family and Shami's character, and how each one of them had like, such an important role. I think even the Bonnie's character is so like emotional towards, especially towards Frankie. And I really like that bonding. And now let's talk about the ending. Like, ending, I knew what was coming. I didn't want to tell her when the ending comes. You don't know what's gonna happen. We were like edge of our seats, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Like, you know, first I thought I forgot about the fact that he actually beats all of them up, then tie them together. But
I didn't expect that first of all for something. I knew something was gonna happen, but I like the fact that they portrayed it a different way. You know, like they didn't really show like I don't think they can show the violence part.
But also, like, I like the fact how the ending fight was such a like a normal fight. Like, you know, when you throwing something at somebody, they don't just take it. They like get scared.
3 miles back or
they
something.
Get scared. Like, oh, don't throw, don't throw. That's how the fighting was at the end. And I really like the symbol of Frankie coming at the end and throwing the net over Shami. It's in a slow motion, and then Shami just getting like caught. Like, okay, you know, now I'm helpless. I can't do anything now, like, you know, it's over now. And his face expression, that helpless, you know, like, I want to beat them so bad because they beat me, but I can't do anything.
But just before that, the scene that I really liked was how the brothers just naturally came together and went to baby's house to like go get the girl,
because she wasn't answering the phone call, and they was like they're putting the jackets on.
So they all just naturally showed concern. It wasn't like, okay, like, let's go beat them up or something like that. It was nothing like that. They just casually, okay, we gotta support our brother, walked out the door, and then they went to go like.
And also, I really like when they were at the door looking at Shami's doing his thing. Frankie comes by himself and he said, okay, here comes here comes a loser or something like that. But man,
you guys, amazing
I think I really like how subtle this movie was. It really has its own flow. You just get drawn into the music, the character, the place where the house was, right by the lake.
Realistic issues that happen in one's life. I feel like it's really relatable. Like, with all the brothers, they had some type of a story, you know, and that.
And I really like how the movie just ends. Like, movie ends up in very like a like a complete way. Like you feel complete. You don't feel like unsatisfying, like a feeling to it. And movie just kind of, they just show like a long shot of their house light lit up because the baby and Bobby got married. And
he gives them like the condoms gift. Remember I told you?
Oh yeah.
You're like, what's in that little box? I'm like, Raj, seriously, they just got married. It's so hard.
But also, and when the movie ends, the long shot, they show the house lit up and on the river is flowing. It's like Kumbalangi Nights in Malayalam, and the movie just kind of ends there.
Beautiful, yes.
Beautiful film. Like it has to be one of my favorite Malayalam films that I can rewatch it again and again. Like so good.
I loved it.
Do let us know what was your favorite part from the film, and if you like this video, this review, give it a thumbs up. We're gonna try to watch Helen next time.
Guys, yes.
Helen, a lot of subscribers telling us it's a really good film. Came out last year in 2019. The girl who is a baby in this, she's like main in that. I think she's like pizza delivery woman or something like that. So we'll watch that one, drop a review soon. So do stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for social media.
Keep sending your requests, guys.
Bye guys, take care.